So I'm gonna hop right into the video. Just quick disclaimer: I'm having some mic difficulties, so there might be spikes in audio. I have to keep my head turned while going through this. I have to keep my head at like a specific angle so the audio stays constant. Because I had to pull out a mic out of a drawer that I haven't used since 2021. Because my current mic that I use for streaming and for calls on Discord, OBS Studio isn't recognizing it the way that everything else does, and it's getting really like staticky and it's cutting out the audio, like the decibel count. It's registering my voice, but it's like the decibels peak and then it goes back down while keeping while I keep talking. So even though I'm speaking at the same volume, it's like it peaks and the decibel count like the decibel goes down, this volume goes down as I speak, and then it reaches a certain low and then it spikes back up again. So if any of y'all have ever heard of that problem, something similar to it, or if any more questions for the problem I'm having, and know a possible solution, I'd be extremely grateful. I'm gonna hop right into this. Just quick thing on where I got this idea from. I was watching HermitCraft recently, and it was I think it was Scar's perspective that I was watching, and I was going in, I was watching this video, really nice video. I have to say the HermitCraft guys always knock it out of the park. But I was watching the video and I saw the idea of a post office. Tango and Etho were going to install one in his base. And I was like, that's a great idea. I've never really heard of a Minecraft post office. So I clicked off the video as quick as I could. I finished the video after I finished this stuff. But I clicked off the video as fast as I could because I didn't want any spoilers. And I went in and I designed a post office on how I thought it would work, and I got through the receiving, sending system, and then a central sort of port system. I didn't get to the main post office system until after I did what I'm going to say I just did, but I went to Tango's video, I watched over it, and I learned something cool that you can reach there are very similar paths you have to take to make something like this, but there are also some really, big differences, like the way that we have access to it. And you'll see that I'd suggest you go over watch Tango's video and just look at how he did it, because the way that he did it's very interesting too. It's something that I personally wouldn't have thought of, but let's just hop right into this. So I'm not the greatest editor. I know that was a drawing cut. How you doing? So this is in a sort of testing world that was my friend's realm that I ended up taking over by building a ton, and he just sent me the file. But right here, this is the post office. This is the primary building. We're gonna go inside here, and it's gonna be a bit cramped. Don't really remember how to get inside. It's a bit of a maze. But I'm gonna get in here. I'm gonna go from. It's not the most well traversable build, but we're gonna start off on this end. So this right here is the back end. So any carts that have no labels to them, have no destination, but are on the track, will come out of this portal on this side, pop into this Wait, backtrack. This is for something else. I'll still mention this, but this right here is for carts that need a refill. So there's a specific function in the whole of this machine that you can actually call for a refill to, send your cart, your package, all the way to the main post office, and then be sent back to your house with all the minecarts that you need. So right here, this is how the minecarts that you want to refill come in. They have their little slip, they pop in this cobweb, they come on this rail, and they go over here and get filled up by any minecarts that, connecting back to what I just said, are without a slip. So any minecarts, like, if you send a package to somebody and they already have a package in storage, then the cart will empty out and come back here and get destroyed. So it'll get destroyed, get sent back into the system, and we'll be waiting for anybody that needs a refill, so that, generally speaking, there are a couple exceptions. You won't have to add any more minecarts to your system, and people never have to craft anymore. But that's just what this does. This refills minecarts. I will add a link down in the description for the actual the world download. I think I might put it on Planet Minecraft. I don't know. You'll figure that out when you get down there. If it isn't down there, yell at me in the comments and I'll put it there. But, I may not respond. And going over here. So that is the actual refill system. Very important. But I'm going to crawl down here, go over here, hop over here, and we can start looking at the actual mechanism that takes things in. So if a minecart comes in to the main post office, which means that it did not have a location set for it, meaning that it either had already reached its destination or somebody sent out an incorrect package. It goes over here and goes through the same system that all minecarts go through. They go up here, they get slapped into this cobweb so that, you don't have an overflow of, 3 minecarts going in at once. But then right here, they have a little system to bounce them back up, and they go over here, which I'll destroy a bit of the roof for this. They go over here, down here, and go into a little minecart emptier. And if any items are found in here, they go into these chests over here, which is the lost found. So if you're on a server and you have, a bunch of items that went magically disappearing because you forgot to put a destination on them, congratulations. They're not going to get burned in lava. But over here, this is the actual place where minecarts arrive. So a minecart will, if there is not a minecart already in this slot, which means that this is like a this is sort of having a box on your front table ready to fill up with items. So, like, ready to fill up with items to ship to your, whatever, your in-laws. But over here, you have your track that goes in, and it'll go over here, pop down here. It'll be sat partially on that detector rail and that powered rail, where you can actually access it from this little opening there, and fill it up with whatever items you wish. I'll show you actually how to fill one up later, because there are requirements to do so. You have to fill it up with shulkers or single items in each slot, because otherwise the cobweb doesn't slow it down for long enough, and you might end up with problems. I didn't really find a way to get around that was this compact, and generally speaking, to receive and send out stuff, these are very compact, and they don't have to have anything below them. They're fully, freestanding. I mean, I could have it in that little floating castle over there. But the items come in. If there already is something there, they'll just get diverted to go around here, go up to this track, which goes all the way around into that thing and destroys them. So only one minecart will get saved, so that if you are operating the primary post office, you can still send stuff. Like if you have there's going to be like a phone book type thing that goes out, like if somebody new gets added to the whole system, then you can send it out to all the people on the circuit so far. Be like, hey, here's the new phone book. But well, not a phone book, more like a fax book. But anyways, the minecarts will come up here, pop out there, and get sent if you decide to send them from the primary post office, because you'll be able to, retract this fence gate, power that powered rail, and it'll get shipped off. But that is the general design of this main thing. That is what all these tracks do. The majority of the redstone you see is just making each of these tracks do what they're supposed to do. And in this instance over here, flip when they're supposed to. But I'm going to cover this up, and we are going to head over to the post office, like the individual ones. So over here, on the other side of the castle, this is a post office that I have set up on it's only 2 post offices interconnected on this specific world, but this is one of those post offices, and there's actually a minecart in there, but we can go up here, enter in through the ceiling, as one does. And this is generally the same system as the primary post offices. That is what the primary post office was built using this. But this has a custom unique things. So, a couple unique things. I mean, not custom. But, as you can see, it has the same arrival system for the minecarts. As there is a minecart already there, this rail is actually diverted up here. And this dispenser right here is what fires out the ones for a refill. And this also works so that if you do press that refill button while there's already a minecart there, it'll also get diverted, so you don't end up with some weird double stuff going on. But it's generally the same systems, with one exception, or one primary exception at least, and that is that you have this little beacon here that gets powered on and off and on and off, so that you can have like a little blinker to tell you, hey, you need to come pick up your package. And I actually do need to change that timing right there. And there's a little bell here for when it passes by, and there's a fun thing you can do. So you know the "you have mail" message, right? I can't do a good impression of it. But you can actually, because of the size of this, plug in a little, let me get myself a dropper, a jukebox, and a couple hoppers. Grab the bell here. Boom, 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 and boom. And you can play a little message. If you have custom music discs, you can play a little message for your redstone system whenever a new thing comes in. Or, I mean, if you don't have custom things, but you still want it to be able to play something, I mean, you could theoretically just play a music disc. But I'm going to head out of this thing, close up the roof, And if you have any questions for how this works, also, instead of a lost and found, the chest is right there. And there's also a chest for your spare minecarts. But if you have any questions about how this works and that can't be answered from the world download, you can ask them in the comments, and I'll try and respond to all the comments as long as I can. I may, be inactive at times, so it may take a while for me to respond, but generally speaking, I should be able to respond to every comment. And I'm going to cut, and we're going to go over to the dispensary, the primary heart of the system. So this right here is the heart of the system. And it's actually, it's pretty simple in reality. So the primary way that this works is, I actually do need to fix something over here because there's a problem where the minecarts actually register ahead of where they're supposed to be. So if I had a minecart that was coming through here, and this is the mail system actually, or this is the refill system right here. So if a minecart goes through here, it might also have a slip for this hopper here. So it does cause problems with that system. But this is the way that the actual, system that takes the minecarts in, sends them out where they're supposed to go. This is the brains. So right here you have your actual input. So all minecarts will go in on this track. They'll get kind of clogged up by the cobweb so you don't have an overflow. And they will go on these hoppers, which is just a little item sorter that if it does get activated, it diverts the minecart onto the respective track. And this right here, actually, you'll be able to see it in the other world, has its own purpose. But right here, each one gets diverted. This would be lava normally. And any item, like the slips that actually go through the things that help you address a minecart, do get burned because it's just a slip of paper. But it goes through here. Normally there'd be a loop around, and then it goes back through here, and then this would be in the Nether. That's the primary post office. As I said, any questions that can't be answered by the world download, you can ask me. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut to the world that all of the stuff is set up on, with 4 post offices, a primary post office, and the brains inside the Nether. So we're back in this world. And as you can see, the primary post office, you now have a general idea of how it works. We can go into the Nether with a little button over here and fly up. And this is the heart of the system connected up. This is a bit messy because I connected these rails up in about 5 minutes because I wanted to show it to somebody yesterday. And I was like, this is really cool, I feel really proud of this. But I connected these up really quickly. You can make them a lot nicer looking. There's better ways to do this, but you would typically have about 4 directions coming in, and eventually all the rails would kind of conjoin into one and then go in. But all these ones that actually go out would be, kind of stacked on top of one another. So I will go into something that Tango Tech did in his video, and that is how efficient the rails are. So there are the efficiency of the rails themselves. There are some benefits and some downsides to either design, and I'll go into those right now. So if you look on my map here, you have these 4 stations, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So the way that his worked is he had a giant circle going around, right? Giant circle going around. Now, there are some downsides to that. First off, if I want to get something over here to over here, it might have to go boom, boom, boom. Or even worse, imagine if these are, this distance apart, right? Instead of going straight across, it goes up, down, over. Maybe there's like a weird nub thing that comes out there. It's a weird shape, possibly. That could cause some problems. So that's why they go straight into this heart system. And although there are some things that slow them down, like cobwebs, that's just to get past the Nether portal timer without having to destroy the minecarts, because, that is a benefit of Tango's system. Because there's only one shulker, it doesn't take a hot second to reload, and you won't end up with problems like, a minecart getting hung up and another one coming in, hitting it from behind, taking the wrong thing, and it could cause a lot of problems. But this has, because it's multiple shulkers, there have to be multiple shulkers in one minecart. There have to be some differences to it. And I could use a similar system, but I'm going to be honest, this is just the way my brain went, and I like how it turned out. So we're going to get into this. You saw the brain. It has the lava in this little block here, so that this is actually the minecart refill track. So if you send something in and want your minecarts to get refilled, it goes through here, it turns, and I can show you how that works in a second. But over here, right, you've got Portal 1, Portal 2, Portal 3, Portal 4. These have, I actually said this incorrectly. That's Portal 1, that's Portal 2, Portal 3, Portal 4. But these have their own cards, and on a server you could label these as anything, anybody's bases. You could label them with phone numbers, like fake phone numbers. That would be funny. Have like, if you have different base areas, like if your friends have different neighborhoods, you could do area codes. That'd be funny. But this is the heart of the system essentially copied in with the little receivers, nether end receivers for the post offices, which are fairly simple. They're not directional. The portal should be lined up with the thing in the overworld, but the reason they are like this is because I just use a structure block to get the post office in the overworld, and they're all the same direction. So it was just a matter of situation. But if you actually build this in vanilla, you don't have to worry about it being pasted in with a structure block. So it's the same thing. But I'm gonna hop in to, I think I'm gonna go Portal 2 here. I'm going to give you a little display of how this works. So I'm first going to send something from Portal 2 over to Portal, I think that's Portal 1. Let's go over here and test that out. So I'm going to go up here, going to sneak my way out. And I can actually look on the map here and look how far these things are across. There's one over there, one over there, one right here, one right there, one right there. And if I remember correctly, that right there is Portal 1. That right there is, or rather, Station to Catman 1. All these are named with my name, or numbered with my name. That's how that goes. But right now, I grab the Catman 1, the location I want to send this to. I can put it in this minecart, right? So that is the location. I can show you also how to do a minecart refill paper slip, but that is the location for the Catman 1. I go in here, actually I'm not doing minecart refill right now. But then I can go over here, I can select my item, and put it in the shulker box, and I can ship it off. And I'm going to do a little cut to show you what it looks like when it gets received. So right here, back into Catman 1, we can see the beacon flashing, that cool little minecart chest, and that beacon, advantages, you can go over here, you can see the beacon from anywhere in your base. You can have it underground, it doesn't matter. But we'll go over here, you can see the minecart arrived. That's sweet, right? Go up here, nothing inside. Go down here, there's your shulker box. Take your shulker box out, leave it in there. I'm going to leave it in there for now. Actually, no, the piston's getting annoying. But what we're going to do is, now, you can see your minecarts there. I need a minecart refill, because I don't have any in there. I don't have any in there. I need a minecart refill. So I'm going to take these out here, because that's the station that I'm at, and then I need a minecart refill. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to send this. And what we're going to do is, we are going to wait. I am going to do a cut, but I will make sure to give y'all an update on time, because I don't want to run this video too far over. So I'm just going to cut it here, and then cut to when it arrives. 3, 2, 1, wah. Okay, so once again, we're back at the Catman 1. This time you can see your minecart chest, and you can see your beacon flickering. You can come over here, look inside. There's 10 minecarts. Minecart chest, actually. So you got all your minecart chests. The minecart that you sent it in is back, fully remotely. That took about a minute and a half, same as all the other delivery times. It acts as a normal delivery, because the way it works, I'll actually go into this now. I'll leave this here, and I'll head over to this, head to the Nether, and hop in. So the way this works is that you can have a minecart going in here, it'll start over here, it'll go over here, and it goes into this portal. Now, the thing is that portal goes technically to that portal, and that's where it goes out for the minecart refill. You saw that near the beginning, but it'll go out, and I don't even know where that thing came from, but it goes out there, because what you do is you put in your location, and then you put in the minecart refill. And because the minecart refills first, it'll go to that first. So it goes through here, goes down over here, gets refilled, pops back up into the sending system, because over here it has that little turn, which pops it up into the sending system of the main post office. It goes through here, pops out there, goes up this track, and since now it has a base in it, it'll go over here in this instance. It went to the Catman 1. It headed over that way, and when in you got your minecarts. So it's because that is first, that is always the priority. And that's why I couldn't have a hopper here, because when it goes in, it sort of picks up too. it goes through there and it might pick up there. So I didn't want it to do that. So I just had to block that off. But that is one of the downsides of the way this is built. I just didn't destroy the redstone because I didn't feel like it. But that's generally how it works. So I'm gonna head back to here, and I'm just gonna tell y'all thank y'all for watching. Uh, as I said, for the 1500th time, the world download is in the description. At least it should be if future me doesn't forget and pull a little stupid. But it'll be down in the description. Thank y'all for watching. If you have any questions, just put them down in the comments. I know this is a bit longer than anything I've ever done. I think it's over 15 minutes, so there's gonna be a little bit cut, but uh, at least I think it's over 15. That's why I'm gonna cut the commentary right here, cut the outro right here. I guess you could call it an outro. Uh, Thank y'all for watching, and any questions, and I'll see y'all later. Maybe. I probably won't post another video for 2 years. See ya.